Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so honored and excited to be connecting in with you. I can't believe we're almost all the way through January. My goodness, if the year has started for you like it has for me, it's been moving very quickly already. I've been sharing on some of our past shows in January that my husband keeps saying that we all get to have 2020 vision in the year 2020. So I'm wishing all of us clear direction and vision as we powerfully and purposely step forward in 2020 and beyond. And with the pace of how January's been going, I'm especially honored to have this time where we can stop for a moment, breathe deeply, connect in, and really allow ourselves to be poured into. That's part of something that is so important. If we're to sustain the journey, if we're to bring forward those things that matter most to us, we've got to be able to stop and pause and reflect and be poured into and filled up to overflowing so that we're able to sustain the course. We're able to bring forward those things that matter most to you. So we are just thrilled and honored to be part of your journey today. And today we're going to be focused on being empowered so we can step forward powerfully and purposely in 2020 and beyond, particularly in the area of relationships. The relationship we have with ourselves, the relationship we have with others, the relationships we have with animals. Where are we in that? And are we stepping into a place where we are feeling empowered and in alignment and on purpose in these areas? We have amazing experts that are joining us today that are committed to pouring into you, to supporting and uplifting you. And so I'm going to invite you to really choose to be fully present, not just in body that you are technically here and half listening, but instead that you are fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit, ready to receive everything that is here for you. That those of you who are driving, please stay safe, both hands on the wheel. You're inwardly tuning in and listening. Heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Those of you who are able to, put both feet on the floor. Feel it supporting you. Sit back in that chair. Get comfortable. Feel it supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. This is a great reminder to bring all of you in. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. And let's breathe purposely, mindfully in through your nose. See how big you can make your belly? Bigger. And then out through your mouth. Like through a straw. Beautiful. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Keep breathing. And as you're breathing, bringing beautiful oxygen to every cell in your body. It's helping lower your cortisol levels, your stress levels. It's bringing clarity to you. It's allowing you to slow down a little bit, reduce your stress, and be open to receive. All of that happens with breath. And in this space that we're stopping and pausing for a moment, that you're absolutely safe. What is it that you need? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, enlighten you, help you feel more connected and purposeful? What is it you need? And are willing to receive because you have choice. See if that shifts the information a little bit. So what is it you need and are willing to receive? Unattached to how. In fact, feeling excited and a sense of wonder of how that need will be met. Like you're excited to see that be unveiled to you, and you're open to whatever way that need will be met. Beautiful. Receive that information. Great. And then come back into the room, fully present, eyes open. Let's take another breath together. Beautiful. And let's take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. Let's take a moment to capture that. Let's start to bring it into reality, co-creating that, keeping it top of mind. It's so easy to get distracted and forget, have the answer right in front of us, but we miss it because we're no longer looking. We're no longer open to receiving. So let's write that down so we can keep it top of mind and refer to that throughout our show time together today, throughout your day, as you look forward to the wonderful and amazing way that need will be met. Beautiful. And with that, I'm going to go around our virtual room here, and I want to give each of our amazing guests an opportunity to share when we stopped and paused for a moment and listened to what was laid on their heart. I'm going to have them each share just about 10 to 15 seconds what was laid on their heart. So with that, Gail, I'd love for you to start. What was laid on your heart when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
The sense of how we're all so connected, and the memory of getting a hug this morning from a friend at a meeting that felt wonderful. I didn't even know I needed it, but somehow she did.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And then, Dr. Joanne, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
The power of the team, being and just living as oneness together in this beautiful web of life. And when everyone dares just sharing their unique gift with everyone else, my God, we are powerful, and it's so exciting to share this journey all together.
I love that. And I love how both of you in your heart had this reminder that we're all connected in different ways. And you're absolutely right. I love that. A reminder that in that oneness, it's so important that we also choose to shine and share our own gifts, that it supports all of us as we are connected beautifully and powerfully. Thank you so much. And how about you, listeners? What was laid on your heart when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen? We're getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, and those beautiful commercials are playing in the background with updates and informations and things that we want you to be aware of so that you're in the know, you're in the loop, I'm going to encourage you to stay present. Resist the urge to tune out, to go cross things off the to-do list. This is your time. I claim it for you. Really use these next 2 minutes to support you, to give yourself time to take things a little bit deeper and see, listen, breathe, and feel and see and experience what is being laid on your heart and spirit. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversations and tap into the amazing expertise and knowledge of our guests. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained, Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself the opportunity to stop and pause, breathe, and really listen to what was being laid on your heart and your spirit. You're going to have opportunities throughout our time together today to do that. And it gives you the opportunity to integrate what is being shared with you. And so instead of it becoming something on the to-do list, it actually can become part of you on a cellular level when we give ourselves that opportunity to breathe it in and process and receive all that serves us. And we can bring that forward in our life. So I encourage you, take advantage of those opportunities throughout the show. And welcome back. We've been talking about becoming empowered in our relationships with animals, with ourselves, with each other, so that we can step forward powerfully and purposely in 2020 and beyond. So welcome back. Excited to be continuing the conversation with you. And today for this segment, we're going to dig into a conversation with one of our experts. And I wanted to introduce her more formally. Got to hear from her on a heart level in the opening segment. Her name is Dr. Joanne Lefebvre Conley. She is a vegan intuitive veterinarian of the New World and an author. She specializes in intuitive medicine, end-of-the-life care and guidance, in-house euthanasia, as well as grief counseling. She's the creator of Haley's Angel Veterinary Services and has helped over 10,000 families find peace and closure regarding their pet's illness and passing. She is passionate about helping animals and humans to live in balance and realize we are all one. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Dr. Joanne Lefebvre Conley to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure being here with everyone.
You are welcome, and we are absolutely thrilled to have you joining us today. And I hope you could feel that in the energy and the welcome.
Yes, I can. It's heartwarming. It feels wonderful.
Good. I love it. I was talking with our guest one day, and we came up with, wouldn't it be wonderful to welcome each other that way on the phone or introduce each other that way? Just kind of lift everybody's energy and spirit.
We all deserve that much energy and such a wave of love, that needs to go around this world and keep on going many times.
I agree. I love it. So that's an extra credit bonus opportunity for anybody that wants to lean into that activity. But Dr. Joanne, I'd like to start with why, because this is such a unique space that you're in, and I'd love for you to share why this work of helping animals and humans in this way is personally so important to you.
We're all born to accomplish something, and we all have a life purpose. So my place is definitely with the animals. They've made it clear to me, when we tend to lose our path and become a little confused in life. Animals have always been there since I was a child to bring me back to my path and ultimately where my heart lies. What are the causes that are worth fighting for and dying for? And to me, that's really the animals, helping them, that I could stop sleeping and just work all day, all night, helping them. So I found out at a very young age that this was truly my place. And then animals on my path, again, have always reminded me of that. Haley was a very special dog. We had rescued her, and unfortunately, she became an old girl. We helped her pass at home with euthanasia. So we were able to give her a peaceful passing in the comfort of home. And her legacy to me was to start this in-home euthanasia service, which was not my idea. I did not expect this wonderful gift from her spirit, but here it was, and I had to step up to the challenge and really become a better person. That was really the beginning.
Thank you so much for sharing, and what a gift that you bring to so many, to be an advocate for animals and to provide that kind of service where when it is that time, that it can be in the comfort of a home versus a more scary, sterile, kind of cool, noisy type of scary environment. So I think that is really beautiful, and that celebrate that you honored that calling and said yes and leaned in. And I wanted to, before we go too deep in, wanted to ask a quick question, because someone else may have been wondering this too with the introduction. What is a veterinarian of the New World? I know what a veterinarian is, but what is one of the New World?
So when I look at the current world, I know we can do better. We can do much, much, much better. Animals have shown me the way to build this new world and to make it what we want it to be, what we know it can be. So I have a lot of faith for our society, our world, and that's what I'm doing. I'm helping, building the new world. The teachings that I've learned from the animals, I was not expecting, and I'm so grateful for everything that they have shared with me and that I am now sharing with everyone else.
Beautiful. And I love that, this vision of the new world that we can all be part of and bring forward and create, instead of looking back, looking forward.
It is a team effort. It is definitely a team effort. There's no doubt about it.
Beautiful. Thank you. And how can animals, because I know you have such a close connection with them, you have as a child, they've been clear in reminding you of your mission. So how can animals empower us to live our best life?
It's very simple. We can just watch them and repeat, see what they're all about. They keep life very simple. There is non-drama. They just love to be happy, to be silly. They live in the now. They don't worry so much about tomorrow. They are really focused about what's happening today and making small decisions, just one step at a time, one baby step at a time, not, again, going so far in the future that we become so overwhelmed because we might never be facing the things we're afraid of facing. So truly, how to live our best life is to do what the animals are doing and having gratitude for just the simple things. We don't need much to be happy. Animals are, they need food, water, love, a roof, and play. You know, they just want to play all the time. They look at the bright side of life. So staying in balance is very important, and really showing the world who we are, you know, our true colors. Everyone has special talents, and that's what the New World is about, is where everyone can just show the best, you know, of themselves and share it with others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Really, really great advice and things that we can, I think, learn and create more peace and joy in our lives by applying. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And as we're looking at 2020 start to unfold, do you have advice to help us start the new year powerfully and purposely?
Absolutely. So my best advice is to clean up your life, lighten up the load, look all around your life, and anything that is not you must go. So you look at old stuff in your house, give it away. When it reminds you of sad situations or bad situations, clothes that you used to wear when you were not quite powerful or aligned with yourself. If anything that brings you down emotionally, give it to regift it, because it will, someone else will enjoy it. But anything in your sight, again, around you, in your energy that needs to be unloaded, take that opportunity to start the year fresh. And toxic relationships must end. Anything, again, that is bringing you down must go. And then do something, take action to feed your soul. That is fun for you, that something that is you 100%, that is showing your colors. Take action to show the world who you are.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. Things that are not you, get rid of or re-gift. Let someone else enjoy, and it creates more room for you. And then you can bring in those things that are more you, and the amazing gift that each of you are out there. It gives you room to stretch and expand that and impact even more people with your unique you-ness, that we can bring that forward in the world. Thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And remember, these 2 minutes are just for you. Give yourself the opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate. How can we learn from those animals in our life? What are some of those lessons they have taught us? How can we create more room in our life to bring more of who we are forward? So take a moment to stop, pause, breathe, and see what is being laid on your heart and spirit. And with that, we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers channel.
A Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. Excited to be continuing our conversation as we look at how we can start our year powerfully and purposely, more connected in relationship with ourselves and animals and each other and the world. And how can we do that in a way that is bringing forward more of who we are? And one of our sponsors today is highly supportive of this, and I wanted to take a moment and acknowledge them and share about them with you. It's RHG Media Productions, and they are sponsoring the Speaker Talent Search. So if you have a moment, I encourage you to take a look at speakertalentsearch.com, where you can learn more about them and learn more about the opportunity to bring your voice forward. Perhaps you're a speaker or an influencer or an expert, and you're looking to get on more stages. You're looking to impact more people with your message, expand your sphere of influence. That's what the Speaker Talent Search is all about. It's an opportunity for you to get your message in front of decision makers that are looking for speakers, that are looking for guests for their shows, that are looking for people to help them serve their communities around the world. So please check out speakertalentsearch.com. RHG Media Productions, we're so appreciative of your support and leaning into our amazing listeners around the world, as we all come together to step forward powerfully and purposely. As we continue our conversation around stepping forward powerfully and purposely, I wanted to introduce our next guest. You got to hear from her and on a heart level in the opening segment, where she was talking about how we're all connected and reminding herself of, in that connection, even this morning, getting a hug from a friend who knew she needed a hug when she didn't even recognize it ourselves. Sometimes those answers to our very needs are right in front of us, and we forgot, or we don't always recognize our needs. So isn't it beautiful with that connection that we can lean in, support, and lift each other up? So let me introduce Gail to you more formally. So Gail Weiner is a marriage and family therapist that uses her 35 years of clinical and writing experience to help women in midlife and beyond create deeply satisfying romance that lasts, helping women towards emotional aliveness and connection and authentic self-expression. She leads empowered dating groups and workshops and public speaking. She is passionate about helping you become empowered and live a life full of love and intimacy. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Gail Weiner to the show. Welcome!
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You are welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. And I'd love for you to share why. Why is this work of helping women in this way personally so important to you?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I saw my mother in a marriage that she wasn't fulfilled in. I would say that's the deepest reason.
And how did seeing that lead you to want to create something different? I'm so curious because that's it's one thing to observe it, but then to take that on as a mission is quite an undertaking. So I'd love to know a little bit about that.
I think I was born with a temperament that wanted to help, that wanted to heal. And so I did my best to help my mommy from a really, really young age. and it's, I think, one way or another been my mission to help women ever since.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So interesting. Both of you that we're talking with today got your mission so early on. I love that. And have continued to bring that forward. And I love that you tapped into that calling and that gifting so long ago and now have all this amazing experience and wisdom that you're bringing to all of us. So I'm curious about looking at relationships. And there are times where we kind of keep repeating the same patterns, even though we say we want something different. Somehow we keep ending up with the same type of partner in a relationship that we really don't want. Why is that?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange, unexpected answer, I think. It's the good side and the bad side. We're very, very plucky, and we're unconsciously determined to fix what went wrong. And to fix what went wrong, you have to give yourself the same situation again to make it come out right. It's like you can't learn to hit home runs by playing soccer. You have to get into the same game to get mastery over it. But a lot of times we don't know that that's what we're trying to do, and so we end up just repeating rather than repeating and healing it through a repetition where we make it come out better this time. Does that make sense?
That does. It makes a lot of sense that we're just going to change the outcome this time. We're going to make it better, and we're not willing to let go of relating to someone in that way until we do. I think that makes a lot of sense. So how do we, and I love that you talked about healing, that there's healing that can take place in that, so we are able to move in a different direction and create a new pattern in our life. So how do we start to do that?
My prejudice as a therapist is that we need to understand the true story of what really happened to us in childhood. Because as kids, we tend to blame ourselves for things that are laid upon us by the situation. And if you can understand what truly happened and the role that you did and didn't have, then I think there's a way that you can come and accept yourself rather than blame yourself in a deep way. And once you accept yourself, that opens the way to believing you actually can change and that you deserve to change what's not working in your life.
Beautiful. And change can be tied to doing something different, which can feel a little bit risky or scary because it's not a familiar pattern. So if we are wanting to step into a new way of relating as we accept ourselves and we learn more about ourselves and heal, how do we become empowered and willing to take risks for change? Or do people consider that risky?
Absolutely, they consider it risky. I think that's why we all know so many people who don't change, even when it's clear that we think they need to, and even they think they need to. No, absolutely, there's some risk involved. I'm a big, big fan of figuring out, like, where your edge is. taking a bite-sized piece. Yes, it's a little risky, it's a little uncomfortable, but okay, you can do that much. And then just doing that little piece and doing it, repeating it, developing a practice of it until that's comfortable. And then taking another bite-sized challenge. Small is beautiful and big is often impossible. I think big changes happen through small, repeated steps.
Share that again. That was so good. Starting with a small is what you started with. A small is beautiful. I just would love for you to share that again. It was so good.
I think we often intimidate ourselves by thinking we have to make a really big change and then everything will be great. Mm-hmm. But I think the way it tends to work for most of us is if we can take a small, a meaningful but manageable risk in the moment and repeat that kind of small, manageable risk over and over in different situations with different people, or again and again with the same person, if that's where it comes up. That builds courage, it builds skill, it builds confidence, and then when you have the feeling that, oh, okay, I can do this now, then what's the next small but meaningful risk that you can take in a consistent way until you've mastered that?
Beautiful.
I think that's how big change happens. Yeah.
Exactly. And I appreciate you repeating it and saying it again, because I feel like we can be so resistant and we make things big and we can make things hard. But those small changes can lead to big results. Small is beautiful, just consistently taking those steps. And I wanted to make sure everyone heard that. And that's why we wanted to repeat that, because I believe that's an important message for all of us to remember. And then I'd love to ask you to share your belief about, well, let me state this differently, because I know you believe change is possible. So I don't need to ask if you believe change is possible. But I'd love for you to share an example, if you don't mind, and we can change names to protect people and all of that. But I'd love an example of how someone was able to shift.
Sure. There's a woman I worked with who had to take on an awful lot of responsibility when she was still just a child because of her family situation, taking care of other people in the family, etc. And when she grew up, what she repeated in her romantic relationships was choosing people who essentially she had to take care of. And that was great in the beginning because she felt competent and admired and needed and like she was doing her job. But at a certain point in all of these relationships, she would start to feel like, okay, you're depending on me, but why don't I get to depend on you for anything? How, can I count on you too? And so the relationships would end. And what she came to understand was that in order for her to have more mutual, equal relationships, she had to begin to take small risks to depend on other people. Like we were talking about before, little manageable but meaningful risks. Until she could depend more and more, she went through a series of relationships. They were more and more competent, more and more generous, more and more able to provide support for her until she finally met the person she married, and now, has a couple kids and a very happy ending. But she had to realize the risk that she had been avoiding and now needed to take.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm sure many of our listeners could identify with parts of that story and the journey. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want to give you an opportunity to process some of what Gail has shared with us today and see what is speaking into your heart and to your spirit. Perhaps it's about those small steps and those small shifts. Maybe being willing to take small risks. Maybe there is a shift that you're wanting to make and you're willing to go a little bit deeper. Perhaps there is a pattern you're seeing in relationships that you're wanting to shift a little bit. These are great things to take a look at and feel into. And with that, we will look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-host Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click Register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself an opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate all that was being spoken to your heart and spirit. And it's great to look back at some of what you wrote at the beginning of the show, what was laid on your heart that you needed today and were willing to receive. I want to encourage you to check in with that and be actively on the lookout. Perhaps there have been some shares today that have shifted some of that, have moved that forward for you a little bit. And it's great to feel into that and see. I'm encouraging you at the end of the show, resist rushing back out into the world. Take a couple minutes, take 2 to 3 minutes and breathe and really take a couple notes down. See what was laid under your heart and spirit. See if there's a step that you want to take, one of those small steps today to help move things forward in a way that is bringing forward those things that matter most to you. choices that you could make, steps that you can take, and then take them. So give yourself a couple minutes at the end of the show to really apply and integrate some of what has been spoken into your heart and spirit. Even if it's just breathing and giving yourself that opportunity to be for a couple minutes so that you can choose who and how you want to be as you go back into the world. Wonderful. Now, I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed our guests. I have, and that you've taken great notes or have had some beautiful moments of connections and insights. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to be able to connect with them on a deeper level. And so I've asked each of them to share their contact information, to share a piece of advice, and we even have a gift. So make sure that you're listening. You might want to have that pen and paper ready so you don't miss out on anything. And then I also want to encourage you to take a look at speakertalentsearch.com for those of you who have on your heart to share your message with more people to reach additional spheres of influence. It's a great program that can help you do that. So make sure you take a look. And then let's start with Dr. Joanne. I'd love for you to share how people can connect with you and follow you and go deeper.
Well, if you'd like to learn more about better living, better dying for you and your pet, as well as how you and your pet can live your best life, shine to your brightest, stay on your path to prevent accidents and diseases, and ultimately fulfill your life purpose, I invite you to find me on my website, www.haleysangels.com, and read my book called Animal Teachings from Haley's Angels Method. I'm also on Facebook, and we can discuss anything you'd like to discuss. You can find me on Facebook. The link is on my website. It's haleysangels.com, and the spelling is HALEYSANGELS.com.
Perfect. Thank you. I was going to ask you to spell it, so you must have picked that up. That's perfect. And then do you have a tip or piece of advice for our listeners today?
It's very simple. For you and your pets, be you and keep it simple and have fun. There you go.
I love that. Be you. Nobody else. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing and joining us today.
You're welcome.
And then, Gail, I'd love for you to share how people can follow you, get in touch, and go deeper.
Sure. I love to get emails from people, and you can reach me at Datewise. That's the name of my business, Datewise, DATEWISE, at iCloud.com.
Beautiful.
And I also offer a 50-minute complimentary consult to anyone who wants to understand their situation better and get a couple of immediate steps they could take to change the situations that they want to work on.
Beautiful. And how would they access that? Do they, on your site, is there a link they can click, or?
They should email me at datewise@icloud.com. And I also have a website, of course, www.datewise.now.com.
Perfect. Thank you. And just to be sure, was that 1515 or was that 550? No. So I share the right expectation.
50.
So generous. Thank you. Thank you for making that available to her. Yeah, that's very, very generous. And I love that you love to receive emails, because that isn't the case with everybody. So I think that's beautiful that they will be so warmly received and get a generous gift as well. So that's absolutely beautiful. And then did you have a piece of advice or tip for our listeners today?
Yeah, maybe not simple, but still helpful, I hope. Mm-hmm. If you notice that you've said something negative about yourself to yourself, I would invite you to say back to that voice, that's actually not true. you have good reasons for thinking that, even though it's not true, but you don't have to live based on that false idea.
Beautiful. Thank you. I want to give everyone a moment to breathe that in. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. And I have a piece of advice and tip today as well, since we are going around the room here. And it is sometimes we can start saying things like, I have to, I should, I need to. And when I find myself saying those things, I try to instantly catch it and say, I choose to. Because it shifts from feeling heavy and obligation, I kind of have to do that, which doesn't feel great to me. Instead, reminding myself that I'm choosing that and I'm choosing to do this or I'm choosing to do that helps me feel more empowered and in charge and reminds me that I am making these choices throughout the day. So that's my tip for the day. And we have a little bit of room at the end of our show today, which is unusual. Sometimes the show runs so fast and so full, we don't always have that room and space. So I actually want to give us a moment to do a couple of exercises together. So I've been inviting you to breathe and pause and integrate those things that have been spoken onto your heart and to your spirit. So I wanted to add an additional exercise. For those of you, I hope everybody has a paper and pen, or you can make note of this and do this activity a little bit later. But write a question, something you have been wondering about, and you feel like you kind of keep coming up with the same way of approaching it. You're just not quite sure another way that can be looked at, or information you've been seeking. And I want to encourage you to write that question with your dominant hand. So the hand that you normally write with. I want you to write that question or what you're seeking down. I'm just going to give you a moment to write that down. Sometimes we're so used to texting and typing, it can take a little longer to write. So write down, but you want to write it. The question, the piece of information you're seeking. Beautiful. Now switch hands. Take the other hand and write the answer to that question. What this does, and it goes a little more slowly because we're not used to writing with that hand. It can look like a kindergarten's writing it. Nobody's looking, it's fine. But it taps into the opposite part of our brain from where we normally go to for information. It creates a new neural pathway, a new way to kind of look at things, which can expand our view and can really provide deep and powerful insights. So I encourage you. So you write the question with your dominant hand, the hand you normally write with, and then you write the answer with your other hand and see the information that you receive. Great. So that's the fun activity for today. And as you get ready to go back out into the world, I wanted to remind you a few things. That you are beautifully and powerfully made, on purpose and for a purpose. Your gifts and who you are absolutely needed in the world. In fact, I believe for such a time as this, and one of the greatest things you can give to the world, that you can give to those around you, is the willingness to share more of you. Share more of your gifts, your unique perspective, your way of being in the world is absolutely needed in the garden of life. So as you go back out in the world, I hope that you choose to share the gift of who you are, that you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.